Let's break down this Google Ads account and do a quick audit. This is a car rental company. I believe you guys are located in Portugal. That's what I understand. It sounds like we're essentially looking for people who are wanting to rent cars in Portugal. Let's hope I have that right. Yep, okay, good. I have that right. Then let's continue. So a couple things I noticed right off the bat as I was skimming through. First and foremost, Smart Campaign should not run that. I actually just got done filming another video where I broke down why you should not run a Smart Campaign. To keep it simple, it's basically a dumbed down version of a Google search campaign, which you're already running at a pretty high budget. So in that case, just keep running the search campaign. If you need more campaigns, you can create more search campaigns, and you probably do need more because you're spending a lot. So I'm assuming you got to isolate things, right? But don't run a Smart Campaign. Smart Campaign is really not useful at all. I know when we're comparing the two, it's pretty like fair comparison, especially when you're looking metric by metric. But most of the time, the results from the Smart Campaign are just inadequate. They're really low quality, really short phone calls. Sometimes these conversions or recording aren't even conversions. You basically have zero control or granular effect over Smart Campaigns, so you want to focus on the search campaigns. Now, I see what you've done here with these two search campaigns, and I like the structure, because when you're running ads in the tourism industry, you kind of do have to structure like this. Let's think about it. You have essentially you have two types of people, right? So if you're doing car rentals in Portugal, you want to target people who are actively searching to get a car rental before they come to Portugal. So like me, for example, I'm in the United States. I would be searching, cars for rent in Portugal. So in this campaign, you would be targeting the United States, but with keywords that show intent of me going to your destination. And then in this one, it's kind of the opposite. You're assuming they're already in, I guess this is Poland, but we can still use an example. We can assume they're already in the actual country that they're searching for. And the keywords don't have to be intent, but you can still target it from presence and interest. So the first way you do it, where you actually target people who are not yet in the country they're visiting, but use intent-specific keywords, that's the best way to do it. And this is kind of like our secondary way we'll usually test, is we'll target the actual country itself, but we'll run it to presence and interest only. That way we're basically telling Google, hey, we want to target people who are searching for this already in our country or have shown interest in our country. That is not the most effective way to do it. This one is. This is the most effective way to do it. Now, obviously, I know you guys aren't in Poland, right? Let me double check. Yeah, no, you guys are in Portugal. So I know that's not the best example, but that's just kind of me explaining it out loud. But the global campaign is probably the way to go, right? So let's first take a look and see where you're targeting and what keywords, right? So one ad group off the bat, I already know that's an issue. We'll dive into it here soon. Looks like you are targeting, okay, so you're basically just targeting Europe. So I'm assuming you're looking for people who are visiting Portugal coming from Europe, one of these countries, right? So if I'm located in the United Kingdom, I'd be searching car rentals in Portugal and your ad would pop up. That's basically what we're doing here, right? Now, I would actually keep Portugal separate here because this is like your home base, your nexus. This is where you're based out of. So you're basically targeting your own nexus and your own home base. I would keep Portugal separate. That is the example I just shared, where you would have an isolated campaign targeting Portugal set to presence and interest. That way you're still capturing people who are already there that need car rentals and people who have shown interest in Portugal, whereas all these other countries we're focused on are specific to people residing in that country currently, but they're searching for what we need. Let's go ahead and take a look at the keywords. Okay, so already pretty good, right? Most all of these are very specific to location, I would assume, right? I'm assuming these are all like cities or towns or hotspots in Portugal, right? I know this is, so yeah, this is definitely the right intent. You never want to have something like car rental near me or cars for rent, because now that can mean anything and anywhere. We need to keep it very specific to where the user's visiting. So this is good. You probably could even create some other keywords or ad groups around different cities and obviously the country itself, like Portugal. I know that's super broad, like car for rent in Portugal, but like honestly, as someone who's not from Portugal, that's probably what I would search because I wouldn't know what else to do, right? So I probably would search the most broadest version of it, which is still specific to Portugal. So your keywords here are going to be really self-explanatory. It's basically just going to be other variations of rent a car, car for hire, car rental, rental car, right? It's going to be the same variation over and over. Where you want to segment it out, it's going to be the ad groups by location. So like I said, you're going to have the same keywords. People are going to be searching different variations of car rentals and car for hire, but you should have an ad group for like each city specific, right? So maybe you have, if we go back, I don't know how to pronounce it, but maybe you have an ad group that's specific to this city, and then another ad group that's specific to this city, and then another ad group that's just Portugal, and then, an ad group for another city, another town, or whatever it is. So you could easily have like 5 to 10 ad groups here, depending on where the high volume cities and towns are. And then the keywords would just be specific to that. It'd be the same keywords every time. You're just swapping out the location. Now for the ad copy itself, this looks pretty good. Your CTR is pretty good. We already know it's working. 9% is really well. You're also using a keyword swap, so that's pretty good. I probably wouldn't make any changes to the ad copy. Even before I click on it, seems like it's doing its job and it's doing really well. So this is definitely good. Obviously, I am noticing you have a lot of different cities in the ad copy. Like this is different than, this. And you go up a little bit more. This is the airport, I assume. So maybe that's fine. And this is different. Again, I'm not from there, so I really don't know the geography. But again, going back to my whole ad group structure thing, having those ad groups segmented out by location, a little bit more specific, would give you that more granular control over the actual ad copy itself. Might help a little bit, but honestly, your ad copy is doing pretty well, so no issues there. Not seeing any negative, let's check the campaign. Yeah, not seeing any negative keywords in here. Let's take a look at your search terms. Honestly, search terms look pretty good. Nothing really stands out to me, but you should still definitely have some negative keywords in the campaign level. I'm sure if you were to shift through your search terms, you'd eventually find some stuff that needs to be gated. No negative keywords at the account level either, so definitely get on that. Definitely add in some negative keywords just to help yourself in the long run. No issues there. Let's take a quick look at the assets and extensions. Okay, so definitely fix that. You can just remove all of these. Obviously, they're uneligible. So yeah, when you're running search image ads, you can't use stuff with like text and overlay, so you can't use any of these. These are fine, but I think you could probably pick some better images than those. So go ahead and revise those. All good there. Make sure the business logo, that's actually a lot more important than most people think. Otherwise, your ads look kind of lame without the logo. Site links are all good, although you should remove all automatically created site links and just stuff in general. Like no one wants these. You definitely want to ensure you always have descriptions across your site links like these. Not only these just bland cookie cutter site links, they're not creative at all. There's really no call to action except for book now, but you should just get rid of these. They don't have descriptions or fix them up. And there's a lot like this. Like really no one needs to see your blog or your blog center, your testimonials, your locations, right? People don't really care about that stuff as much as you think. Just keep it straightforward. Like this stuff up here is actually good. You could probably even do better. Maybe like list out the cars available for rent. You could have like one site link just for this car, another one for this car, just to kind of show your inventory, right? Or if you're running any like deals, offers, promotions, whatever, perfect. But definitely improve these site links. These look good. Yeah, most things here are pretty good. Just a little quick cleanup, I would say, and some restructuring. I think you probably could sync your business profile. Looks like you already have, so that's really good. You got a couple locations and cities. Okay, this makes sense. No, that's really good. I like it. Let's take a look at the campaign settings now. Running maximize conversions, that's fine. You have plenty of conversion data and it seems like a lot of spend. We've already covered the targeting here. Good call on the language targeting, it's pretty smart. Yeah, everything here settings pretty set up well. Not seeing any issues. Let's make sure we have all of like these AI automated changes and stuff turned off. Looks like you have a couple turned on. I would remove these two actually. I don't like having these on. Remove redundant keywords and allowing them to remove non-serving keywords is giving Google too much control. Sometimes just because a keyword's not serving or it's redundant doesn't mean I don't want it still. It's not harming my account, so don't remove it. Remove those two or turn it off, I should say. Everything else here is fine. All right, let's take a quick skim at your conversion tracking and see what we're doing here. Okay, so here's a good catch. So we're double tracking purchases, right? You can see we have two purchases marked as secondary. They're pretty, well, actually, no, they're pretty different. This one says 905 purchases in 30 days. This one says 85 in 30 days. I assume by purchase we mean like booking, like someone who booked online and continued and paid. I would assume this top one is very inaccurate. I don't think you had 905 sales in the last 30 days. 85 sounds a lot more reasonable. So two issues here. One of these is inaccurate, and two, you're double tracking, which is way over skewing your data and way skewing your conversion cost per lead and all that. So fix this. Pick which one's correct, delete the other, or whatever. Form, okay, probably not valid. I don't see anything with calls from ads. I'm not sure if you can track calls from ads in your country. If you can, definitely include that. It's probably not as important as a booking though. So if your primary focus is just online booking, then keep it at that. Just make sure you fix this up here. Everything else here is fine. Everything else here is secondary. Yeah, I mean, this should be secondary too. So change this to secondary. You should be able to change this. Looks like it. Yeah, change this right here to do not use. We don't want to track this kind of stuff. So honestly, all we should be tracking are bookings, which is this up here. But again, fix it because one of them's wrong and you're double tracking. Overall though, things are definitely headed in the right direction here. This is pretty solid. Fix your conversion tracking. Pivot only to the search campaign. If you need to create a new search campaign because you have so much volume here, you can go ahead and isolate one. But you definitely need to expand your ad groups, expand your targeting, conversion tracking, and just a little cleanup. But things are looking pretty good here.